Hey y'all, what's going on? It is Christmas Eve. Say hello to me when you get down here in the comment section. Okay, it's Christmas Eve. We may not be on here all night. I don't know. I may do some battling on TikTok, but say hi to me when you get in here. Let me know what's on your mind. I didn't even know that you guys, I didn't even know that this week was Christmas. Let me tell you about it. I thought I still had another week until some friends of mine said, no, Christmas is this week. So I didn't even know Christmas was this week. Okay, let's start there with how it really went. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna come here because we had a good time on Thanksgiving. Before Thanksgiving, I got me a little, a little drinky drink, which has been like my thing here lately. And I was like, let's come here and say hello. I was gonna say Merry Christmas, but for some people it may not be Merry, so I just like to say Happy Holiday. Hey, Benita girl, how are you? Are you guys prepared for Christmas? It is less than a few hours away. Do you guys are you guys like to stay up till midnight or open the gift at midnight type of people? But just with like a lot of the things that have gone on lately, right now, um, everybody may not be in the best mood and things like that. Like it just doesn't feel real holidaysy outside, and it's okay. I want y'all to know that it's okay. You will make it. This too shall pass. Don't allow one day to make you feel like. Don't allow one day to make you feel like what you do or who you are or where you go or anything like that. Like it's not good enough because, baby, let me tell you, real life still happens and kicks in after the 25th. How we sounding out there? Is the microphone and everything good today? I'm just trying to make sure I get everything together because it took a lot for me to come here tonight because your girl is tired. I am adding a few more last minute like touch ups to the websites, and I think we're just gonna end up. It's just gonna end up being a go. I'm gonna stop picking it apart and just what Cisco say, unleash the dragon. I don't know if you really wanna unleash the dragon. Bill, if you hear me say yeah. So I feel like that's what it is. I'm about to just unleash the dragon. And if you are on YouTube, make sure you say hi to me down there in YouTube. If you come on TikTok, make sure you tap the screen so I know you here. Let's make it fast. Let's see if we can get to a quick 1,000 hearts over here on TikTok. And don't forget to give me my daily heart me. I appreciate you guys for the ones who do that. I appreciate you guys. So what's going on? What's new in your world? How you guys feeling out there? Are you in the holiday spirit? Did this sneak up on you too? I want to know. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Say yes, I'm getting ready. Okay, awesome. Awesome. I made some chicken noodle soup, y'all. Because I mean, when it's cold outside, it's something about me that just turns into a bear. I like to hibernate. I don't know why, but I made some soup. I've been just chilling. I have been the chestnut roasting by open flame. You know what I mean? I don't know about anybody else, but yeah, that's how it is. Hey TikTok, when you come over here, just make sure you guys tap it. And look, I was being nice, y'all. This is why I need to turn the camera another way. Remember when I had those both angles? Because Draco has just opened the door to the studio and allowed himself to come in. But we are going to ignore him and we are going to make sure that he doesn't interrupt the show or he's going to get put up. I mean, so this is where we say the choice is yours. It's going to be left up to him. So we'll see if he's going to make a wise choice or not. Hopefully in Jesus' name he'll make a wise choice. Say hi. I see you guys out there. Yes, and I love it. Sorry, I'm responding. I gotta start putting my phone back away when I'm on here. But I feel like the boy is about to try to act up. I feel like the boy is trying to act up. So I already got the message typed and ready to go. So if he start acting up, I'm going to send that message and they're going to come in here and they're going to get him and then we're going to finish the show tonight. But how you guys feeling? It's not really too much to get into, but it is a little bit to get into. Because, baby, let me tell y'all what's going on. And I know some people don't like this and some people do. But, baby, that 50 Cent and that Nicki Minaj, baby, know how to have the internet in a chokehold. I ain't never seen so many people bothered by what somebody else feel and how their feelings and their beliefs in my life. I said, baby, the way that this lady and 50 Cent control the internet, it needs to be studied. I said, I pray to have an impact like that one day, okay? Because they can't even have a difference of opinion, okay, without people coming at their heads. And I'm just like, this is crazy. You know what? This is me just coming to y'all to talk to y'all tonight. And y'all can join in the conversation if y'all want to, because y'all know how y'all do. Let me share the link because last week we had somebody call in. So maybe this week you guys will call in. Hey, YouTube, I see you guys there. Say hello to me on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Yes, baby. Yes. Let's see those likes and those hearts. Yes. Hold on. I'm telling her to come get him because he's going to be below her tonight. So I just want you guys to say hi. And if you're on TikTok, send me that daily heart me, please. Help me meet my goal here, okay? I only need one of those little heart unicorn things. But I want to get into some stuff tonight because I feel like for those, I don't want to say the woke folk, but make sure if you come in, I want to at least get to 1,000 hearts. So all you got to do is tap the screen, okay? She said, yes, let's see those hearts share the show. Yes. Because why come if you're going to be a wallflower? Although I'm learning that some people do like to just listen. But I mean, every now and again, I say a hey or what's up won't hurt nobody. Okay, Then when I make comments and posts talking about people being creeps just watching you, then you're going to feel offended. Well, if the shoe fits, then it must have quit. But I feel like this. You guys got to see. You guys got to see, wait a minute, because Draco, I told y'all he broke in here. So I feel like this, right? If we are actually paying attention, I don't know if you guys pay attention, but you let me know in the comments if you pay attention. What you say? Here, come get him. Put him up. Close my door. Hey, how you doing, Shanice? How you doing? Long time no see. Yeah, close the door. Close it all the way. He opened it. So I feel like this, right? And you guys let me know if I'm wrong. And I had a great conversation with long time. Y'all remember Ramsey the Great? You guys remember he used to come into Candy Coated and cause an uproar, but he said we were the new black. Shanice, you remember that? You was on that panel. He said we the new black. He said, wait a minute, saying my nephew broke it, and it's crazy. Hey, sorry, I've been in my school. Yes, I know you love school, girl. Shout outs to you. We need you on the team, girl. So I was saying that who's your nephew? What I was saying is this. Oh, hey, Andre. Oh, y'all getting me confused because last week we had a caller. So what I want to do, because I like hearing y'all sometimes, so it might be too much to text. Oh, Draco. Girl, you about to come get Draco. I'm going to share the link so that you guys can join in the conversation verbally. Isn't that what they call it? So here it is. And Shanice, I think you'll appreciate this conversation because you and Andre, like y'all really give me like y'all be thinking. So this is what I'm saying. I said I feel like that that 50 Cent and Nicki Minaj should really be studied in a good way. And I was saying, hey Alexis, and I was for the newcomers, and I was saying that I pray to be like that one day where you could just show up and they control everything, right? And hear me out, because I know people have been going crazy. And I said that because, if we are paying attention to what's going on now, we always say, right? That we want people to have like a safe space to be able to talk to us or be able to say how they truly feel. And then, before, when it was the man versus woman, the whole little epidemic, they felt like women aren't giving them a soft place to fall. And it's like, well, who are you choosing? Who are your partners? For one, I feel like a lot of the times they get the things that are getting lost in translation when it comes to, let's say, celebrities and us regular folk or whoever. But no, because I'm a celebrity too. And if I'm a celebrity, you're a celebrity because you watching me and we just all celebritying, right? And I've said, dang, I said, well, if actually, Shanice, I was having this conversation with your mother, and it was a good one. And it was like, actually, if we pay attention to what's going on, it's teaching you something, right? And let you see something. Make sure y'all giving me the hearts and thumbs up, you guys. Okay, so because you have more people outraged at 50 Cent for doing the documentary than you do have people who are outraged about his behavior and what he was doing to people. So that's one layer of what I saw that was like, man, you gotta love America. Like the way people think. Oh, and I gotta throw Dave Chappelle in there too. We're gonna throw Dave Chappelle in there too. So pay attention. While you wrap your gifts and about an open flame. But engage, okay? Tap the screens, send the gifts. And if you would like, you can send a donation. Merry goddamn Christmas, okay? So what I'm saying is, when we look at that, it is crazy. It's crazy how people are more outraged about that. And they always say, oh, well, the industry or people are just bringing down another black man. They're just trying to tear us down. And I always beg to differ because I'm like, how are they tearing you down if there's nothing to find? And what I want to say is, hey, Alexis girl. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, please make sure you're giving the video a thumbs up and you're commenting so I can see you guys over there because engagement matters here. This is my full-time income. Okay, blessed be the fruit. I'm just keeping it real. So, and we have it where people are more outraged about that. And it's like, if you ever need somebody, and I'm not saying that they all listen to that because I don't know what them Epstein files look like. I don't know. I don't know. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't know. But it's like the one example that we did have that was like basically a pretty much clean politician was Obama. You may not agree with his ways, he is the reason why you can't continue to extend unemployment. I got an issue with him with that. But at the end of the day, he ain't had no baby mothers come out of nowhere. You ain't see him get locked up. You did see him after his presidency, yeah, whatever. Y'all know we make up words, that they were trying to bring his kids in the mix. Do y'all remember that? Like, oh, such and such, Sasha Obama was at Mardi Gras. Like, why do y'all care? And y'all trying to make a thing about this young girl in college or in her 20s going to Mardi Gras. She wasn't flashing no beads, but this is just the things that they do, right? And then you have the people who say, well, they're trying to bring people down. And I'm just like, yo, I disagree because just because people go looking, it does not always mean there is something to find. Okay. And I don't know, even if you may be dealing with stuff at work or just whatever it is, if people may be pinning up against you, people can go looking. But as long as there's nothing to find, baby, you will be okay until that one day come if you give them something. And it could be small. It could be the day you came in late. You may have came in late a million times, but just whatever reason, if they're looking for something, it's like, okay. But here we have 50 Cent who, I even hear people saying, oh, well, he better watch out because Jay-Z and them don't play and he's playing around with other billionaires. And I had a conversation with someone else, this guy, and he was like, well, I think they're going to do something to 50 and he needs to watch out. And that like send me. But I couldn't let them know that send me because I was like, because I will honestly say that what did it say? Yes, y'all put those kids at the table for dinner and relax and watch the show. Yes, girl, come through. If Benita don't do nothing else, baby, she gonna promote Candy Coated Secrets. TikTok says, I think I am more irritated by the exploitation than anything. Okay. We can get into that too. I was trying TikTok was making me do or something, but then it disappeared. I don't know what is it telling me to do. Um, so I feel like something. Oh, it making me pin this goal. Oh, because I only need one Lord Universe heart. Okay, got you. Um, he said, Andre says they bring themselves down. Heavy on to bring yourself down. Okay. I want us to stop normalizing blaming other people for our choices and our behavior, than the things that we do. And we need to stop doing that. That's something that we do, but hey, to each his own. But I feel like that um I know that some things are like exploitation to your comment, Shanice, but just me, we can have these conversations. I don't always feel like everything is an exploitation. I do, however, feel like that if there's a lane and there's somebody that's going to watch it and get into it, and then you be able to get paid for it, and you come up with the idea and you do it, then what young thugs say, whoop de do. Because in order to get paid and be exploited, you need a participant. That's just how I feel, right? Kind of like how people were feeling about how people begin to feel about Zeus Network and Love and Hip Hop and things like that. And it's like people are signing up to go on these shows. People have things that they want for themselves, whether it's the fame, whether it's getting the acknowledgement or getting their, what they call it today, clout up. There is paperwork in place that go with these things. And the reason why I want to comment to the whole exploitation thing is because, like you said, that's a fact, which is sad to me. It's sad because if you watch the documentary, how many of you guys saw the documentary? And you guys saw the documentary? I got my water and my little sippy because I'm trying to get into something. It's Christmas Eve. Because if you watch the documentary, remember Making the Band, Babs was the only rapper, right? Just had a sipping. I know that's right. And thank you. I ain't sipping by myself. Baby, when I tell you that these things is kind of good, they are not kind of good. They are really good. And you don't need too many of them. But Babs Bunny, she's a part of the Battle Rap Leagues, which I love. Okay. And okay, yes, you said you saw the documentary. Cool. And you guys call in if you want. And she said they gave us a stack of papers this high to sign and told us that we had 24 hours to sign them. She said after they told them that they had 24 hours to sign them, she said she took it to her lawyer, and her lawyer was like, basically, they're saying that, okay, Andre said, yes, you've seen it too. She was like, basically, they saying that they are offering you, they are offering you fame and no money. She said out her mouth on this documentary, I said, sign me up, right? So when like the exploitation stuff and the taking advantage of stuff, people sometimes, and with the things, even if we're in relationships and people tell you what they do and what they don't want, or your kids and all of that, they tell you what they want for Christmas and you get mad because you done got them what you wanted them to have and they ain't even appreciative and you feel like they're not appreciative, but they was like, I said I wanted a blue tricycle. I didn't ask for some roller skates and a goddamn Xbox. So it's one of those things too where it's like, when do we get to a point where we listen to what people say they want and we give them what they want instead of us giving them what we think they want? And not only that even when people tell you that this is a bad deal, you still have those people such as Babs that are like, sign me up. So with her saying that and knowing that lets you know that the other 5 contracts said the same thing. That lets you know that the other ones with Danity Kane said the same thing. But however, this is what they chose to do. But you have people are more upset about 50 Cent. Now, do I think that 50 Cent was just the face that Netflix and them are using to push the documentary? Absolutely. 1,000,000%. Absolutely. Absolutely. For one, it's not even that for some of y'all that want to know. It's not even 50 Cent documentary. 50 Cent is just the face. Be, so this is why when it comes to some of this stuff, it's important to follow it all the way through. Did you guys know that? So 50 Cent did not control who was going to be in it, how they wanted to be in it, because when the people that he did want to be in it asked for more, some coin, as they should, you understand? They want $1 billion network. Let's call it a thing, a thing. Netflix is the only damn app that keep going up and recycling the same movies, and somehow we still be adding to it, making a family plan off of it. I mean, talk about exploitation, right? For real. That Netflix ain't giving you nothing. I mean, every now and again, Tyler Perry might got a good series on there, especially Beauty and Black. And then you turn around and you at the last episode, and then they want to draw you in and don't even complete the series until next year. It's like, well, then why the hell did you even bring it out? Sorry, but this is how the things are. And so 50 is not even, he's just the face of it. He's being the face. People are going to watch it. People who support 50, or that the thing is, 50 doesn't care what he say out his mouth, how he do it. And I watched some interviews prior to this, maybe like last year, where they did ask him, because some people were curious. They was like, be right back, got a shower. Okay. Got to my onesie. I know that's right. Well, we'll be here, back at 5. We're going to take a break while Shanice goes and take her shower and jump into her onesie. So outside of that, you guys, right? So, prior to this, way before this, 50 Cent, they even it was like, 50, how are you able to, she asked them, how are you able to still get these deals and these brand deals that you get and be so messy over the internet? And 50 said, because they don't look at me like this person. He said they know I'm still a rapper. And being a rapper, different things happen. They know that squirrels and all that stuff happen. So when you really think about it, 50 Cent is actually very freaking smart. Okay. Because even with him doing all these different deals and him getting all these different brands, he's not allowing them to put him in a box where he is restricted and can't be the troll and do the things that he does, right? So that's the other thing. But and we also know, just like the internet, they give you little clips and pieces. So yeah, so I was like, you know what? I want to see who else is looking at this and see it, because I was like, I find it very interesting that, people are more upset with 50 Cent than they are with Diddy and the things that he did to people. And they always talk about, black people keep black people down, or what the white man is always doing, or what black people shouldn't do. But Diddy screwed over everybody of color. Yeah, you had the little Danny Kane crew in there, and it wasn't too many that wanted to come forward, but everybody Diddy did some wrong to were black. They were black. And it's like, all right. So that's why I was like, you know what? If you're looking at it, it really lets you know how sad the world is today, that people are more upset about the messenger than the message. And then you have Nicki Minaj, right? You may like her, you may not. It doesn't really matter. But now, because she says how she feel, about anything, and this goes back to what I said, we ask people to create, we want a safe space. It's almost like people say, oh, I want a safe space to be able to say how I feel and what I'm doing and all of this. But people want a safe space, and you want to create that safe space and say people should be able to express themselves regardless, until somebody do it. And when they do it, it goes against you and how you feel. And so now you're judging it and making them feel away. When I'm pretty sure it's some things that you yourself may or may not agree with within whatever it may be, whether it's your friends, family, and stuff like that. And if they knew, they would feel away. It's almost like when you say you get tired of your homegirl or, your homeboy calling you about the same person over and over and over. It's like, when is she just going to leave him alone? And then you start to feel away. It may make you not like him. That's when I say it's like you're too close, you're too connected to it. And my thing is, who is in this world, right? Make sure you guys give me a heart and a thumbs up, you guys. Share the show. Share the show. And if you want to join in, I'll put the link down in the comment where you can join in with just audio, or you could come on the screen. If you're on TikTok, make sure you tap on the screen. But my thing is this: I'm a fan of Nicki Minaj because I love her music. I would never go to Nicki Minaj for political advice. Like I don't look at people for what they don't do. I don't even look at for people who do what they do to do what they do. You get what I'm saying? Because here we are, Trump said everything he was going to do and he's doing it. Kamala, however they call her, she told you everything that he was going to do, and people still voted in the other direction. So it's one of those things where it's like, it is what it is. You have to go with the punches. But I was like, yo, so many other things are going on right now in the world, and the internet is completely going over Nicki Minaj and 50 Cent. And I think that that's a problem. Like, what y'all think? Tell me what y'all think. So here it is. I saw where Joe Button was like, I'm done. I'm officially no longer a Barb. I don't care what the Barb say. I'm off of the train. Yeah, it's because she is saying something against how you feel. But let me tell you, Sexy Red is a conservative and spoke out for Trump. Waka Flocka, 50 Cent, Floyd Mayweather, Jay-Z, Beyonce. I just had that whole list, right? Who else? Who else? It was a whole list of maybe like I seen where they put of like 50 black or Snoop Dogg, Boosie, like they all are Trump. But for whatever reason, Nicki Minaj gets people in a tizzy. Okay. Snoop has been vocal about it. Boosie has been vocal about it. Waka has been vocal about it. Kanye, before Kanye became crazy, as y'all like to say, has spoke about it. 50 Cent has spoke about it. Sexy Red, all the rich, let's say that, because that's what the Republicans do. They keep the rich richer. All the rich have said yeah, but for whatever reason, Nicki Minaj is who everybody is choosing to harbor in on. And say they want to cancel. How you canceling this lady and her song just went number one again on iTunes a couple days ago? So this is why I said that we have to look at the things like that. I say all this, God is the only person that can cancel. And that's the thing that irritates me with some of us humans as well. We act like people are bigger than who they are. And although you do have some people who idolize and worship celebrities, it's almost like you're forgetting who's really in control of everything. I'm saying there's always a lesson to be learned. There's something that you can see. I'm pretty sure there may be something that you played a part in, as far as with whatever issue you may have, even in your personal life. It's like, girl, it's like, dude, you play a part somewhere. Just taking that ownership and acknowledging that. And I'm just like, yo, I do. I still stand by what I said. I would love to be able to do that one day. Just do something and make the whole internet go in an uproar. If that is not influential, it's crazy. And people are upset with 50 Cent for being the face of the reckoning of Diddy. And then there's something where, as though that one of the jurors said that they didn't know who Diddy was. They didn't have anything, no knowledge of Diddy. But then it's come out that there are photos of them and Diddy together. So I am like, okay, let's see how this is going to go, because I think that she was actually like a juror on the trial. We'll see as that begins to unfold. But you have Jay-Z who they set, and him and Beyonce was sitting having dinner with the Trump's children. And as fast as you saw that post on the internet, is as fast as you saw it leave. So this is the thing. It's like the internet, honestly, the internet will make you feel like that's how the entire world feels. when half of the people that sit on the internet won't even say what they got to say to you to your face. You know, some of these people are in places where you will never even be where they are, you know. And then it's just, you have Dave Chappelle. So Dave Chappelle, he went and did, he talked about his recent stand-up comedy. It was cool, but I'm not really a Dave Chappelle fan. But the one he did on like the transphobia, that one was hilarious. But this one, he, he even talked about it. He was like, listen, just a couple years ago, they was trying to get me canceled. But he said he prefers to do shows in the Middle East because he can say what he want, and it's not an issue. And in this last one that he did, he was like, I don't think people really see that people are really being like punished and treated differently or missing opportunities because you're not saying what the masses want you to say. You're not being how the masses want you to be. And so he said he will forever keep doing his shows out the country because I think he said he did like his trans jokes over there or something like that. And it wasn't like a big issue and an uproar like it was here. So he was, so he's like, I prefer to go somewhere else and do it where it's not going to be an issue. So I'm just like, yeah, when you look at everything that's going on, even with them, they want to control what you say, what you do with your body, how you do it, when you do it, why you doing it, where you doing it at. I think we need to start waking up and just paying attention a little more for those who may still be asleep, and for those who may be woke, or even the conspiracy theorists out there, that it's a bigger picture. They don't want you to have a voice. Do you not know that even though and I didn't know that Milagro Graham was Beyonce's cousin, right? So with Milagro Graham being Beyonce's cousin, and her Beyonce's husband's uh corporation suing Milagro Graham is crazy work. You get what I'm saying? Like, at what point do you be like, y'all know this is my cousin? So that speaks to its own self, right? And it's like Megan Thee Stallion really sued this girl for not believing that she was pumed by Tory Lanez. Like, that's what that case boiled down to. It lets you know, yeah, she won, but it lets you know, because of the amount she won, that it really wasn't no big fight. And that's why Milagro Grams, like I mentioned to you guys before, that's why she was so excited and not even really concerned about the fact that she got to pay this girl this money, because she got acknowledged, and other people who do commentary and things like this got acknowledged as new media. So she was like, yeah, I'm just going to take it as like a lesson learned and learn from it, get better, apply it to my business, and keep it moving. So it's like, if y'all are on the internet and looking at things just for conversation purposes or just to kiki and pass your time, I suggest with some of that stuff, you go a little deeper, because they really, really, people are really out here suing you because you have a difference in opinion, and that girl got to come out 55,000 or 59,000 for having a difference in opinion. Meanwhile, her opinion wasn't as bad as academics. It wasn't as bad as Joe Buttons. It wasn't as bad as Adam Ross, Adnan Ross, or any of those other streamers. But for whatever, she was the only one that was a female that was like this with Tory Lanez and his family. So you kind of know Megan was feeling a way like, girl, she even unfollowed Glorilla because Glorilla used one of his songs to post her video. I mean, it's just like, this is the world we have just come into. And although you may, be looking like, dang, this is just people saying what they want to say. No, but people are trying to stop you from saying what you want to say. You know what I mean? Like, people are upset saying, oh, well, they're using Nicki Minaj because she spoke at the Trump thing. Well, what is the difference between her and the Democrats using Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, all those other people, Glorilla? Like, no. This is why I be telling people when they be trying to say, oh, she crazy, oh, she this. No, somebody up there just does not like her. you know. Um, and I just say, y'all better wait. What they say on that daggone movie? What Goldberg told them people on got daggone Sister Act 2. You better wake up and pay attention if you wanna be somebody. If you wanna go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. You know, it's real. Like it's crazy. So I mean, we even live in a world today where if a man is having a conversation on a podcast or just being interviewed and he says, "Oh, it was big. It was this." They say pause. Like the day that I have a conversation with a grown ass man and he is using pause while he's talking to me because he feels like it's because people got you now thinking that it's coming off as determining your like words are now determining people's sexuality. Like, let's be real. Do y'all really see what is going on around here? So it's like the day that I meet a man and we're having a conversation and he says pause, I will never speak to you ever again. I don't care who you are, because why is it that we can't even have conversations with each other or conversations publicly without you thinking that what I'm saying in response to whether the conversation is or to whatever's being asked, that is identifying with my sexuality? Like, look at this. Just a couple weeks ago, I had got a text message. I was like in a group text message, and they were working at the bar and they were like, oh my goodness, all of a sudden it was like, oh, I didn't know that it was zesty for a man to drink wine. Right? I was like, huh? And they were like, listen, I'm at the bar and this young lady is in here with her boyfriend and he ordered some wine. And when he ordered the wine, his girlfriend said, oh, you being zesty. And I was like, because he's drinking wine. Okay. And then I know people hate to do it, but I said, can I ask you a question? It's like, yeah. I was like, were they black people? Because you know when you know. And they were like, yeah, how'd you know? I'm like, because only black people equate what you drink to your sexuality. Like just shit. And the whole group text, we all started laughing and stuff. And I was like, dang. And I'm like, yeah, this is just the world that we live in. People just equate everything. She said, I never heard that term before. Girl, me neither till it came upon. But apparently that's a thing. Hmm. Apparently that's a thing. I was like, oh wow. Yeah. I don't mean no harm, but I can't have no man that goes with culture and goes with society. Then I definitely don't want no man with no man purse. I'm sorry. This is where maybe the little hypocrite might come, but I don't assume that. I just don't want my man to have no purse. Like we're both not about to be fondling through our purses at checkout. That's a preference of mine, okay? And they be like, but what if it's this and what if it's a Louis one? And I don't give a damn what it is. I don't want no man with no man purse. The only purse that I know is for a woman. I don't want that. I don't want that. Get a book bag or something. But we're not about to both be at the counter fumbling through our purses. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And things like that. But you may have a preference for you too. So I just was like, some of that stuff, I was like, dang, I was like, I hope people are really paying attention. And the other thing I want to do before I get out of here to you guys, don't let this holiday, like I started off saying, don't let it bring you down as far as feeling like you aren't enough. Because it's not even about that. It's about the family, being grateful, being thankful, and just being appreciative and happy that the savior. It was born today and it changed our lives and it changed the world. And I said all that because I remember, this reminds me, like I was trying to say earlier, of the pandemic. When it was COVID, you had some people who were upset because other people were still, um where other people were still upset because people were posting gifts and stuff from their kids that they was getting their children. Do y'all remember that? It was like, oh, I just feel like people shouldn't be posting what they got for Christmas. And it's like, so people should not be excited because you didn't get your kids anything for Christmas, or because you didn't have the money to get anything for Christmas because of COVID and the shutdown and things like that. So I just feel like that this whole thing with like the government shutdown and all that other stuff that transpired outside of them, yes, some people have went back to work, but there are over 4,000 people who have not. Um, and just for those, if any of them are watching, or if anyone is in that situation and you're feeling away, don't. And unless you're already a millionaire, the half of the world is a paycheck away from being in a crisis. If something happens to your car right now and you can't get it fixed, you're no better than anybody else. But I will say this. If I ever decided to start over with a little teeny papa, I will not do the Santa Claus things with my kid. I will not. I don't even remember doing the Santa Claus with the one kid I got, but I will not. And I say that because of things like this. I feel like that also, this is just me, can contributes and play a part to kids, sometimes growing up and being unappreciative and just thinking they're supposed to get something. And when you're saying no or you don't have it, they like, what you mean? I do. Like my next kid will know ain't no Santa Claus. Now we could probably do the Elf on the Shelf and play little like Christmas games. Cool. But having you thinking that some man coming down a tree and all of this, when people are losing their jobs, when income is scarce, when things like that, and you are doing what you need to do, I feel like that people should let their children know, hey, because again, some of them people out of jobs. So what do you tell your kids then? Santa Claus ain't got nothing. Then you're gonna have them thinking, well, Santa Claus went to my friend's house, Santa Claus went to their house, why Santa Claus didn't come here? And then what's the next thing you're gonna do? Oh, because you weren't good. So now you're installing that in them, which is not good, which they're gonna grow up and then be like, dang, I remember that year I didn't get anything because I wasn't good. And it's like, that's not the way to go. That's not what it is. Um, no. What do you want for Christmas? I'm gonna make sure that you have this for Christmas, but I feel like that teaches a level of appreciation. Know that you are not getting anything contingent upon your behavior. You're getting anything contingent upon if we got it. And if your behavior is good and satisfactory, then that's the contingency on if I'm going to go to the store and get it. I'm just saying. So I will not be doing the Santa Claus thing with my next children if I ever anymore. I just won't. Um, yeah, I do. And I didn't feel like that, honestly. I didn't feel like that until the pandemic. Until the pandemic happened. I didn't feel like that until the pandemic happened. I was like, yo, well, what about all the people who feel like, dang, because now what do you tell your children because your job shut down and you ain't able to get no check? Like but then half of the people took their freaking unemployment and went to trips to Dubai, went and got their bodies done. So it's kind of like your priorities are screwed up anyway. I only let my kids take pictures, but other than that, nope, they know it's me. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Because I feel like that's a good thing. Now, and I get like if in school they do the Santa Claus stuff in school, and you want to do that, like I said, the Elf on the Shelf, cool. Whatever the school is doing, mom is going to correct it and say, oh, well, they said Santa Claus and baby, this is just a tradition of what people do, Santa Claus, to make Christmas fun. Whereas though we can play the Elf on the Shelf games where we going to have the cookies, where we going to do all that. But baby, I need you to know, you're going to know Santa Claus. Now, don't you go telling nobody else that Santa Claus ain't real. That's not what you're going to go do. Don't you do that. But you know what applies to your house. Okay? Let's get that clear. For real. Okay? So I just feel like that's something that as time going we need to do and look at that part. Teach kids to be appreciative and thankful. It does. And it lets you be like, dang, you mean to tell me that all those years I had the big dirt bikes and I had the Xboxes and I had the brand new iPhone and clothes? Like, my mother brought me all of that stuff. I feel like it'll just give you a different outlook too when your parents, like, it'll make you think your parents are rich too. But it's just like, dang, my parents did this. I do, Andre. I'm with you. Like, I think that it'll give a whole different. I believe it may start a different thing, like a different change in the positive. Because it's like when the times come, such as the pandemics, or when the times come when you don't have, it'll make them maybe be like, "Don't worry about it, Dad. Don't worry about it, Mom." For the last for however many long we've had Christmas, you've gave me this, that, and the third. We can just do something else. Maybe that's the time to start um finding different things. And I'm just saying that, and this is just me, but I'm just saying that in the perspective of keep it fun, right? Well, tell me what y'all think. Keep it like listen, keep it fun. Let them know that the Santa Claus stuff go with the Santa Claus stuff. But then I think that's why people grow up and be confused when you're trying to tell them that it's about Christ, and they like, well, when was Christ? That's a whole nother thing. But you know, keep all the little fun festivities. But in my house, Santa Claus ain't bring you a goddamn thing. So I just feel like that by us having them do that, could we be contributing and doing them a disservice later on? What y'all think? Tell me. Let's talk about it. I think that maybe lead to a different factor. I don't know. I don't know. But I ain't with it. But I said that 5 years ago. We can have more fun ways to do things. Because my thing is this. How do you say Santa Claus got me this, but then when you go to Aunt my house, or Aunt or Uncle Mike or Uncle George or and they saying, look what I got you for Christmas. How do you now? What you think? How do you now explain that? And even though kids are not going to think about it, but I'm just saying, because everybody don't do it. That don't mean that they're going to steal the joy away from your children, but it might be like, hey, look what I got you for Christmas. Because then if I'm a kid, which I was at one point, but I'm like, well, how did Santa Claus know to come to all of y'all houses? To Uncle Mike house, to Uncle George house, to Aunt this house, to that. Like, how does Santa Claus know to bring y'all something for me at all these houses? But then you say, "Oh, look what I got you for Christmas. This is what I got you for Christmas. This is what my nephew wanted his little coat." And I said to him, I ain't kill his Santa dream, but he was like, "You want something for Christmas? Here you go. You want it now?" He was like, "I want it now." I said, "Merry Christmas. This is your Christmas gift. This is what I got you for Christmas." That I can only speak for me, But yeah, I'm not doing that. Let them have fun, but also tell them the truth about Christmas. Yeah, that's why I said continue to have fun. You can do that little cookie thing if you want to make it seem like the Alf. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of low key wish I did have some little teeny boppers, and maybe once and I know when I'm a millionaire, right, and when I'm a billionaire, I am looking forward to. So one of my dreams is Lord willing. One of my dreams is to be able to have Christmas in my mansion with a big old tree and a big old spread, and it's catered, but the caterers aren't there to serve it. We are all there. My eyes closed because I see it. Aren't there, and we're just full of laughter and we're full of smiles, and I have nothing but everything that everybody wants under the Christmas tree. That's one of my dreams. I wish that I pray that my family is around to see, and I pray that happens, right? So um and they will know that it came from me. It didn't come from no Santa Claus, okay? She said, don't come here tomorrow with that. I ain't gonna come to y'all because he already know that coat came from Auntie, okay? Yeah. I gave him his coat, baby. This is for me. This ain't no man in a suit. So, um, and that's just what it is. Like I said, everybody has different beliefs. Everybody believe in different things, and like I said, if anything, nothing showed us different from what goes on in the world today is, what it looks like when you don't believe in the same things that people believe in. And it's like, it is okay. If you don't believe Christmas is about Christ, if you don't believe Jesus was born for Christmas, if you don't believe that Thanksgiving is about giving, if you don't believe that Christopher Columbus found the world, and if you don't, that is okay if you don't believe that and somebody else does. It's okay. Like nobody's put on this earth. We are not here to convince nobody of anything. As long as you know what you know, and as long as you know what works for you and your household, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And I think that we get away from that a lot of times, um, in the culture and in society. Like you see, everybody's upset, or they feel like, oh, Nicki Minaj shouldn't have said how she. Nicki Minaj is not the only first black person that got up there and was on the Trump and them side, and that showed you during the goddamn election how many women, I mean, how many men were so upset and saying she's a whore. Meanwhile, now those same people, I see it all over my page, are griping and complaining about, yo, Trump is messed up. Oh, but you ain't believe it. So it's one of those things where that's why it's important for you to know what you know, you to stand 10 toes down on what you believe, and you not conform to what the world is telling you to do. Be yourself. And I always say all the time, God can't be talked about. He can only be experienced. Don't ever let anybody be able to tell you your experience, talk you out of your experience, or say what you don't know is not a fact. And I think that that's one of the problems that we have as humans, because a lot of us are listening with we're not actively listening. Most of us, 95%, are listening to respond. And for you guys who like stats or whatever, go check the stats. But that's what it is. That's what it is. Let's go to the comments and share the show, you guys. And I appreciate everybody who sent in donations too. And even you guys who went over there and snuck on the website and sent donations. You know who you are. I appreciate you guys. And I'm grateful. 2025 didn't go anything how I expected it to, but I was even having this conversation with my sister, and I was like, yo, I didn't know I was going to be laid off. So in 2024, I had wrote a letter. I had wrote down saying that I was going to voluntarily quit my job September 17th, 2025. Well, it was June 27th. The Lord had other plans. Okay. I got laid off with the federal government, and I was telling my sister, and I was like, I still went out. I still did everything I had to do. Business was booming, has been booming. And then now here I am where I am full-fledged for the head, where I do what I want to do every day. And I just continue to pray, and I just thank God for that. I thank God for that, for me being able to wake up every day and do what I love, because there's not too many people can do that. And I am learning and understanding and appreciating the appreciation in that. And I was like, girl, not only that, my rent was not late. I did not go hungry. I traveled. I went out to eat damn near like every day, doing my workouts, paid for my personal trainer, and still got all of these things done. And at one point, I did that without an income. Don't ask me how, but if you do, my answer to you is God. Like, I know it wasn't me. So this is why I continue to like show up and do what I do. I always tell God, let somebody look at me and see you, because when people ask me how I do it, he is my answer. He will always be my answer, because that is my answer, And so here it is. I was already going to quit my job. I knew I was going to quit my job a year before it happened. I said that because I feel like this. When you have something that you want, right? And I always heard these stories about people who said, from like Jim Carrey and all of them, and even the guy who did The Pursuit of Happiness, when they like, look, even the movie Acrimony, like I watch stuff for a message, and they're like, yo, I quit and I just dove full fledged into my freaking dream and didn't know how I was going to go. I literally don't know how I was going to go. I used to sit and be like, well, what am I talking about this week? I literally don't know what I be talking about. I wait for God to tell me what I'm talking about. Dead serious. He is my CEO. He guides my steps, and he ain't let me down. He has not let me down yet. So here it is. Like I said, I knew a year prior I was going to quit my job. I don't want to be that. And there's nothing wrong with people who do it, right? But I'm just telling you how I feel about it. Whenever I go, when I get a job, I use it as what it is. It's just a resource. They be like, oh, you want to enroll in the 401k? You want to do it? Absolutely not. Say what you want, but absolutely not. I had this conversation when I went to this this Meetup Expressions Bible group a couple of weeks ago, and there was some older people in there, and then it was me, and they were like, well, the one thing that we like, because they didn't know how old I was, right? But they were like, the one thing that they love and that they admire and that they can recognize what's different, right, is that the generation now, this generation, which is like my daughter generation, maybe some of me, so the Z's and the millennials are not bowing down to the I'm going to work here for 100 years, get this pension, and that's that. Like, we are living in a season of where there are so many entrepreneurs out here. So many entrepreneurs at an all-time. It's at an all-time high, right? And it's like, they were like, we admire that. And I said, and I talked, and I don't know if I think the one might have felt the way. But this goes with you saying you want to create a safe space for people to speak. And then when people speak, you want to control what they say. So I was like, and they were saying, yeah, I went here and I did this. And when this happened, I was that. And I said, well, for me, I saw what it looked like. Like, I saw where I had my mother and other family members who have retired and their pensions are not enough, where they have gave all to a job that wore their body down. My mom was a cop, so whether it was a gun bout and now you got hip issues, whether my cousin who was a sergeant in corrections and she retired out, to doing a midnight shift, to now your sleep pattern is off, making weight because you're just all of this other stuff, people in the military who retired. Like, I saw it. And even though I was little and I was growing up, I knew what I did not want for me, right? And it was like, she was like, and I'm sitting here and she was like, and I'm thinking about, oh, I need the health benefits, I need the 401k and the retirement plan, and I have this family. And she said what she said, and I was like, oh, I said, yeah, what you're saying, I totally get what you're saying. And I was like, so for me, that's why I was like, I saw what it did to people. And that's why I was like, yeah, I'm not retiring from nobody's job. Like, it takes so much to continue to make somebody else rich, that if I take that same time and apply it to myself, find something that I truly like, and I can be overly dedicated to it and just be patient, it'll go where it needs to go. And this is here we are, 8 years later, here we are, So I may not look and I may not see, because I'm not into the clothes and all that or whatever. I'm into it because, if you see me out, I definitely step. But I'm not into all that other stuff. So whereas though it's like, I'm not saying I don't have issues, because I do. I come here to tell y'all about it, okay? But it's the fact that it took 8 years, and it still hasn't. It's taken off, but it still hasn't gotten to where I know God is gonna take it. Because I always tell him, blow my mind, blow my mind, blow my mind. I say that every day, blow my mind, and he blows my mind every day. Every day is something. When I tell you every day, something wonderful happens to me. I mean, it's all about perspective and how you see it. But when I tell you that literally something wonderful happens to me every single day, even in the midst of the stuff that don't always feel so wonderful, it happens to me because I take control of my day and I don't just talk to him like I told y'all last week when I want something, right? So um I'm like, here it is. It took this, it's taken this time, but now um things are moving. Things like I literally get paid for what I love to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, this is cool. So when I was going to voluntarily quit, I just was going to voluntarily quit. When I tell y'all I didn't think about what I was going to do, there was going to be no unemployment because I was going to quit, right? I didn't think about it. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know what I didn't know anything. And it was rough at first because when I was calling to get help, because guess what? I'm going to use the help while it's there. So if I got to get this from the state and all this, but whatever reason, they do not want to give your girl no food stamps. So I don't even get to benefit fully off of, not having the damn huge income that I had. Like I was in a tax bracket where I didn't get no taxes, right? So it's just so funny now, right? Because you don't think about what you were and where you were until you're no longer there, right? And I was like, okay. So I didn't care about filing taxes every year because I never got anything because it was like, well, you're in a different tax bracket. You don't get anything and you don't have any dependents. Oh, whatever. But I will get something from Candy Coated. So that was the plus of having a business. My business was the only reason why I was able to get anything back every tax season. If I was not having Candy Coated, I would have never gotten anything back every tax season. And I'm telling you this truthfully, right? So I was like, okay. And I didn't have a plan. I didn't know anything. But here it is. God knew what he knew, right? Instead of me voluntarily quitting, because I told y'all I had did it. I had did it right when, this is testimony. Thank you, Jesus. I had did it right when in May of 2025, I started my financial plan. I said, I'm starting my financial plan to get me out of debt, to get rid of this. Like I was like, all right, I'm going to take charge. I got to get all this done because come September 17th, your girl got to quit. And the only bills I need to have is rent, BGE, and groceries and a cell phone, right? And internet. That was they the only 5 bills I needed, right? And I'm going, well, in car insurance. So I'm going and going and going. And I came up with this plan. And at that time, it was 19. I had 19 things worth of debt that I needed to pay off. And I called them, was trying to get assistance. And them people was talking to me like I was this welfare recipient all my life. And I was getting all the assistance and they was talking to me and getting these attitudes. And I was like, oh, hell no. Let me go get me a temp agency or something and try to find a job or do something else because this, that, and the third. But I forgot that I didn't forget, but this is how your plans and stuff work together. And this is why I write everything down, because when I speak and I write things down, my stuff happens, right? And I wrote it down. And I said, let me go find me a job because these people trying to talk to me like I'm crazy. Like I just been here every day. They don't want to help you. They got attitudes. They don't know I just got laid off. Da, 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 da. And I went and I went and got a little temp job. So I had a little temp job. Oh, I woke up, I was miserable. For like 2 months that I lost my job. I was so freaking miserable. Whew, I was so miserable. I was like, this is not what I want to do. This is not what I want to do. This is not what I want to do. Boom. What did they do? Whoop, fired me. I was like, glory. So I was able to still get my unemployment. And so even though I was doing it, it was like I was doing it. I did Lent. Things moved for me in Lent. My followers had skyrocketed. Y'all remember that? And then after that, I was like, all right, cool. I went ahead and I do it. And during the summer months and all that, like I was booked and busy, like getting to it, getting to it. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So he had already showed me, like, hey, girl, I got you. So then here we go. And guys, make sure you're liking the show. Let me know you still here. Hey, TikTok. Oh, dang, why I can't even do this over here on TikTok. Oh, thank you, TikTok. We got to 2,400 hearts. And I only was trying to get to 1,500, wasn't I? If we was going through this and going through this and going through this and going through this, right? And I am just like, okay. And then I ended up doing it where I just do it full time. And so it was just like, And then I started doing my 50 days to greatness. Y'all remember that? Andre, Bonita, Alexis, Sonera. Y'all remember the 50 days to greatness? And remember, I said to y'all, I said, I don't know, because the 50 days of greatness, I said it was going to be this huge miracle that happened. And I was going to be like, this millionaire or something. And I said, well, even if it doesn't happen or whatever, I said, I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm going to continue to keep on going. I was like, any other time I shut down and won't do it. I added another 30 days. I can't even tell you what day I'm at, right? 30 days of greatness, 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 it's 30 days of greatness. And within doing that time, I went from being a sole proprietor to finally getting the LLC, courtesy of you guys and your donations and your help. I appreciate that. So you guys showed up to make sure I got it registered, doing everything, do all of this, built the website. Now I'm at the final touches of the website before I go ahead and launch it, right? But he said, do a small launch. I did a small launch of my website. And boom, it's been pretty. I ain't gonna say pretty. It's been well. It's been awesome, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. I did that. Amanda's sister, who was that? I don't know. Outside of that. And then here it is. And I'm like, okay. So I was having a conversation, like I said, with my sister, and I was like, yo, if I really had to look over 2025, in spite of all the things that has happened and things that went on, I was like, yo, God really has been there the entire way and held me down. I have not been hungry. I have not gone without. I had a great year. I was still able to do things that I wanted to do. And I was like, and now I cannot, because this is what I'm saying. January starts. So it's like, now we got another 12 to get through. I prayed to keep death away from my family. We have not lost anyone. We're still mourning the very, very tragically loss of my cousin. And we still continue to push through and go through that. So I pray for my entire family every day. And I am just like, do not get distracted because the year is about to start. To where as though you feel like, woo, how am I going to make it through the next 12 months? Because you know how sometimes we be like, woo, just let me make it to the end of the year, child. And it's like the same way today. I just feel like that 2026 is just going to be a breeze. Like 2026 will be a breeze. It's a breeze. As long as I continue to do the same thing that I did in 2025. And the only thing that really is a huge thing, but the only thing that I did was I kept God first at everything. I talked to him before I've made every decision, just about. But then towards the end, I started really like talking to him about everything. And once I started talking to him about everything and just being appreciative and gratitude, and being appreciative for what I do have. And I was like, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because it could have been worse. And I'm sitting here. So this is what I'm telling y'all. If y'all not able to do what y'all usually do for Christmas or something for the kids, don't worry about it, because it's a homeless person somewhere that ain't got nothing. Maybe this time last year or the year before that, you were able to do more. And now you're not able to do as much. So what? Enjoy and appreciate what you do have. So I'm just like, dang, it's been a great year. Even without that, he has elevated me. He's elevated my freaking business. He's elevated me. Like, I'm super excited and I cannot wait. I'm also working on something for y'all who want to fix y'all credit. Now, I'm not no credit repair person, but I do got some information. Okay. That's one of my next little things, but all the information will be on the website. And I'm like, I just did these little things, y'all. And I kept writing down, oh, I want this credit score. 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 And all I've been doing is like little different things. Yo, my credit score is now at a 730. Do y'all understand? Like, and I am just like, I'm doing these things because I like to teach people. I want to do this. And I always tell God, let me better me so I can help and show somebody else, you know? Um, and I went from before paying people to fix the credit and do all this and all that. Here's there. And this is the highest that I've seen my stuff. And I did it on my own without paying a whole bunch of money to do it. So that's just where it is right now. And that is before I sent out my dispute letters. So I kind of been in this thing where I've been asking, like telling certain people, because I'm like, I want to see something. You know how we always I'm like, I want to see something. So I was like, I'm waiting for like 2 people. I don't know if they're gonna do it, but I'm pressuring them. And plus, some people don't like you to be in a business. But I was like, hey, I want to do something, and I want to see if I know it's gonna work, but I want to do something. Since you're not in a rush to do anything, you're not in a rush to buy anything, and I'm learning and understanding how it works and how creditors look at things and all of this stuff, like learning how it's illegal for them to double bill you for certain things, learning how if I think somebody has like a repo. If you have a repo and they didn't go properly do the properly notifications to give you the information for the repo, that could come off. And so that's like the most challenging that I have. And I am like telling her, like, girl, I need you to do this because I want to see how this works and what I can do. Well, what God can use me to do and what we can do together about this repo, because I already got all of this information on her repo where it ain't correct. So I'm just like, girl, please do what I'm asking you to do and get it to me, right? Free of charge. So the more and more I get it, I will let you guys know. As far as I'm working on it. I just have to wait for the confirmation tonight. See, y'all always get me to tell y'all the secrets, but this is my Christmas present to you guys. So for you guys who want to be serious, who are serious, and you want to do it yourself, as far as just appreciate your life and making a difference and making a change. And like I said, all of this stuff started changing for me because I was like, God, I want better, and this cannot be life. This is just not it. And I'm not in a rush, and I have the time to do it. And I did it. And like I said, this is before the disputes. Like my credit went up 43 points before the dispute letters I sent has even gone out. I know in Jesus' name that stuff I first disclaimer. So my sister and my homegirl and them was laughing because I told them what my score was before this, right? And they were like, girl, I thought your credit was extremely bad because you always said da, 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 da. And I was like, I never said that. But they had thought it because, I mean, not only am I not really that I'm just a drama queen, but I don't like owing people. Like I still have a bill with one of my friends where I'm like, I got to figure this out. I just don't like it, because it's just like, okay, let me get this out the way. I just truly don't like it. So I'm working on so many things. And so I was like, well, I never said that. I just said that I wanted a 7 such and such. This is at the time I was like, I just want a 730 for so long. I was like, I just need a 730. I just need a 730. I don't know what was up with that number, but then I ended up changing it to like an 830. I was like, and it was like, I could not get out of the high 6s. Like it was like, it just was not. And he laid me off from work. And during, which is still now, my 30 days to greatness, not the 50, but doing the extended 30 days to greatness, he was like, I want you to work on your credit. Hey, how are you? Oh, I'm so glad you showed up because I want to do something with you. So you make sure, yeah. Thank you for the rose. Look, thank you. So TikTok is saying that I need to get this little galaxy heart. Apparently, it's a heart with a little galaxy. If you can, you guys send it. I appreciate whatever you send. But he was like, I need you to sit down. And now I want, I want you to get things in decency and order. Oh, look, SpongeBob. Thank you. Where are my sound effects? Yo, every time Nugget come over here and he touch my iPad, all my little sound effects disappear. Hold on. Effects. No. I'm sorry, y'all. TikTok done sent gifts, and y'all know how I feel about TikTok sending me gifts, child. I appreciate them because sharing is caring. Sound effects. Woohoo! Yes, thank you so much for the gifts. So I was like, okay. It's like, let me sit you down, and I want you to work on your credit, get things in decency and order, because you can have everything that you want. And I was like, I just want to get to a point where so whatever I want, I get. Period. And I was like, oh, I want a 730. I want a 730. And I had wanted a 730 for so long. But y'all, and y'all know I'm not lying because I come and I show y'all my stuff when I write it down. So I don't have it with me right now, but come the new year, I will show you guys my book where I wrote down all this. I wrote down all this stuff. And then you will be able to see how, yo, oh, damn. Oh, see, I love that. See, TikTok, they show up, they send their gifts, and then they go about their business. That's what I'm saying. Thank you. But I was like, okay, had me sit down and I did it, got my patience together and I did it and I was looking at it and all I did was get things in order before I got my actual hard copies because I know that you can do everything off the internet, but I need a full copy. Um, and before the copies even came to my house, my credit had already changed. So that's why I said I know once I get this stuff and I send it off, it'll get better. And I want to give you guys something so that you're able to watch and monitor your credit too, even if you don't want to do what I tell you to do it. Because I am not a credit repair. I do not want to be responsible. I'm not responsible for nobody's credit. I am just here to bring you literacy and education and tell you what I did. So once I finish doing that, I'll have a system to where as though even if your situation is just like mine and just like someone else's that I'm working with, then it's like, okay, well, here's that. But I'll even do things to where as though it helps you guys too if you want. But if not, it's no pressure. So I'm just like, okay. And I'm just super excited because I'm just getting things in order. And this is why I said that we got to understand and know that of course we look at the situations in the government and the things like that. But there, excuse me, there is no situation that you're in that's too big for God. It is not possible. It's not possible. Some of us are receiving the answers and just not doing and just not listening or choosing not to listen or choosing to do things a different way or don't feel like it. And it's like, we just keep complaining about the same things. But it's like, hey, but what are you doing? Are you contributing to it? Are you trying to do something different? What's going on? What's really going on? So I was like, yeah, I'm doing all this stuff that I'm doing so I can come back and tell y'all about it. And y'all can do it. So this way it's like, well, dang, how did you do it? And I'll be like, look, you gotta watch the show because I told you how to do it the whole time. And so I'm just grateful for that because I know that it's not me. It's only God. It's only God. True story. I was in the dollar store. And when I was in the dollar store, I had a plan. I was like, I have to mail out these letters and I need these things. I had envelopes, but I was like, let me get another pack of envelopes. And I just needed one little small pack of paper because I don't do a lot of printing, right? I was like, I just needed one small pack of paper. I was given a printer. And I was like, okay, let me hook it up. Let me figure it out this way, right? So I was given this printer, and then I was like, okay, now I got to make sure the printer is printering, right? And I went ahead and I did it. And I was in this store. I was in a dollar store because my friend was like, girl, go to the Dollar Tree. You don't got to go nowhere. So I went to the Dollar Tree. I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm in the school aisle with like the pencils and stuff like that. And I'm looking at everything 100 times. I'm standing over this one thing and I'm looking. Of course, I'm on the phone, but I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking. So I was like, oh, there is no way I am at this store. Because after that, I was just going to go in the house and say, forget it. But I was like, God, there is no way. I was like, nope. Something was like, you did not have me come here for there to be no paper. So I go and I ask the person that's in the aisle, and I'm on the phone with my friend. And the one thing that I love about this is because whenever stuff happens to me, for the most part, sometimes like God always have a witness. So I'm looking and I go to the person and I say, excuse me, sir. He said, yes. I said, excuse me, sir. Do you guys have any printer paper? And he said, well, if we do, it's in the aisle such and such. I said, what aisle is that? Because he called about aisle. I said, oh, where all the color pencils and like the stuff is for the kids and stuff. And he was like, yeah, it's going to be over there. So I'm walking and I was like, and like I said, I heard her say, I was like, someone was like, you did not bring me here just for this not to be here. Like, I cannot do this. When I tell y'all, I was on the phone with my home girl and I walked in the aisle and I'm looking and I look down and I look down and I look again and I stopped and she was mid-sentence. And I tease her all the time because I say, girl, I think I'm turning into a little old church lady. But I mean, this is how things just work. I praise him no matter where I'm at because gratitude is everything. Having the attitude of gratitude is everything. It's appreciating the little stuff. Because I told y'all, I said, wake up every day and I say something wonderful. I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. And before I go to sleep, I say, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me tomorrow. And then there's like you wouldn't be able to keep track of all the wonderful things that happen. And so many things happened to me since I've been doing this. And I go to look and I stopped her mid-sentence. I was like, girl, hold up with the story, girl. She's like, what? I said, girl, God is so good. He just plays all the time. She's like, what? I said, can you believe that I'm in this store where you told me to look, where I looked several times? I said, do you not know that there was one pack of printer paper sitting on top of this row by itself? No more paper, no more anything, just sitting there like it was put there for me. She was like, what? She started laughing. I said, girl, I stood here in this spot when we was on the phone and I was looking and you was telling me to look. It was not here. And she was like, wow. We started laughing. And I just like, girl, God is just so good. I'm just like, thank you, Jesus. Because I'm like, girl, yeah, I knew it. I was like, I just felt it because I was about to give up. I was about to give up and leave and just walk. I said, well, at least if I just get these envelopes, I didn't waste my trip. Baby, when I tell you that I left out of there with the envelope and the pack of paper out of nowhere, and it was just exactly what I needed. I was like, you play too much. But I was just so grateful. And it's like, and it's things like that. That type of stuff will happen all day. So it's like we just have to be aware and pay attention. And I could have been running my mouth on the phone and could have got the pack of paper and wouldn't even thought nothing about it. Just went and picked it up and do all that. But because I knew that I had looked and this was not here, I'm like, yeah, I'm the only one in the aisle. Nobody else in the store. Ain't no way somebody put it there and walked off. And because there wasn't nobody there. So those are the things that I pay attention to. That I feel like that we often forget and it gets lost in translation sometimes. With us is the small things or the things that even come in our mind, because I didn't say this out loud. It was in my mind. And I was like, I ain't come here just to get no pack of envelopes. This is not what I did. I know this paper. Dang, it ain't no paper in here. Dang. All right, I'm going to just go to the register and I am just going to go ahead and I'm going to get these envelopes. And it was the envelopes of paper because he said, I sent you there. I told her to send you there for you to get this pack of paper so you wouldn't go to the store at Staples and spend $20-something because you don't need that because you're not going to be printing a whole bunch. And I told you to go there, had her tell you to go there to get those two things you needed. So when I tell you like this is how he moves, this is how the Holy Spirit works, this is how he moves, it's because I talk to him before I do everything. I talk to him, I talk to God all day. I was just telling my sister that on the phone. I was like, I don't know if you believe me or not, and it really doesn't matter. I said, but I literally talk to God all day long. Like, and I've started doing it even more like when I get frustrated versus me calling hitting the vent to somebody. Sometimes I just sit there and then he'll hit the phone ring and somebody show up. Case in point, I was so irritated a couple days ago. Like I was pissed. I think it was like Saturday. And I knew that I was pissed because this situation and this person was being used to agitate me. Like I knew it because God don't lie to me. But it was to show me some things. And I was so pissed and I was going off. I was going off in my car and I was talking to him and I was just losing it. And then after time went on, boom, somebody showed up and called me and I was able to say it to them. And was talking about it and all that, but then I felt better. I was like, I gotta go. I was like, no, I gotta go get me something to eat and I gotta go in the house and take a nap. Literally, that's what I did. Got that stuff, got my food, went in the house, and I was knocked the hell out. And I woke up feeling better. But I was like, I don't know if you believe me or not. I was like, but I literally talked to God about everything. I talked to God all day about everything. Like, what we doing today? How's the day about to look? I'll wake up, read my scripture, pray before I do anything on my phone. Even if sometimes, sometimes may be different. Like if my friends or somebody may call me because I got my little, even my friendships are like changing with like the different people that I meet. If they call and I'm talking to them, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna call you back because I gotta pray. Or me and my one, we get on the phone if they call me and I'm like, all right, well, I didn't pray today because I was gonna pray, but we gotta pray together. Come on, we gotta pray. And they'll start praying or I'll pray and then we continue our day. And things like that, because that's just a routine that I did. I don't ever want to get so busy to where I'm not communicating with him. And if there are some times when there is an emergency and I'm picking up and I'm straight on the phone as soon as it is, I always go back and check back in because it's like he's like, just don't forget to say hello to me when you wake up. I know that people may call you. I know that things may get, I know your schedule may be hectic because I made your schedule. I made it, but just don't forget me. And I've been showing him that even sometimes when people call me and it just randomly happens, I don't forget you. So yeah, y'all. We gotta just start improving and just getting better for the better, okay? Well, that's all I gotta say. Cause I'm ready to go. And I share these stories with y'all to keep y'all inspired and to keep y'all encouraged that there is a better day. Even sometimes I don't feel like it, and I ain't always at my best, but we making it. We got what 7, 8 more days to the year is over. Don't beat yourself up about Christmas. Stop being afraid to ask for help. No means no, and and start to plan on how you can make it better. And if you want some information about improving your credit and stuff like that, hit me up, child. But I can't wait. I'm super excited. Follow me on all platforms. Continue to share the content, you guys. Engage. I have been, slowly posting like question of the days and stuff. If you guys see it in the group, comment on the group. And if you really want to be kind, take your same comment, copy it, and paste it on my page. Because that's what I'm doing too. I'm putting it on the main page as well. For those who are not in Candy Coated Secrets to come over and see it in Candy Coated Secrets, but we're picking up the conversations and stuff back in Candy Coated. So if you're my regular commenters from before, y'all, we're coming back. It's just that I am just moving when he tells me to move. Like if he tells me that, because the other day I was like, oh, I gotta go review this place, and he was like, I ain't tell you to do that, and I was like, you know what, you didn't. I'm gonna sit down. you know so yeah, just do that. When I told y'all last week when I was like, oh yeah, my daughter was going through whatever she was going through, and I was talking to her or whatever, and then she responded to me, and now here she is, and she's like, oh my gosh, Ma, he does listen to me. he does hear me. I was like, yeah, he does. So that's been cool, to see that that's something that I pray for, and I see that moving and working in her. Super excited about that. So that's why I said sometimes if you feel like your big prayers aren't being answered, look at the small ones. Look at the small ones. I'm super excited. Going to get everything together. And then that you guys can hear me, we can also hear the guest. Um, I do have to do another test roll. So if I put the link down below, and if ever you guys, and when I say I want you guys to join in on a conversation, of course I want you guys to join in on the conversations, but I also am trying to test out some things before I start to get guests to come back on, because I don't think I'm going to have any guests in the studio. So we gotta, work it virtually. I don't ever want to have anybody signed up to be a guest, and then when I sign them up to be a guest, we on here like, hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me now? I did fix the echo with the mic. You know, we don't hear the echo. At least I don't think we hear the echo. Let me check. Yo, well, y'all didn't mention the echo. So I think we on here. I think I fixed the echo issue. Let's see. Let me see before I get out of here. And I just want you guys to continue to be great. Don't get down for the holiday. Don't let it. Yes. Oh, and we're nice and crisp too. So I fixed the echo. I think I'm gonna go over here and battle on TikTok for a little bit. Although the crazies come out on TikTok at night. I don't really know. I'm kind of sleepy youpy, if you know what I mean. But yes, thank you guys for joining me tonight. It was fun. We've been here a lot longer than expected. If you guys, I only wanted to get to 1,500 hearts tapping on the screen on TikTok. We got the 26K. That's cool. And I got some gifts. Merry Christmas. I hope you guys have a great Christmas. Um, and enjoy your day. Let me see what you guys got into. Thank you for any donations. Thank you for all your support. Share the show. Continue to help us grow. And again, shout outs to Benita. Appreciate Benita. Benita Applebaum. Carry on. Merry Christmas. Yes. And I didn't say Merry Christmas. I think I said that earlier, but I didn't say Merry Christmas. I say Happy Holidays, just because for some people it's not a Merry Christmas. So, but I was like, I'll just say Happy Holidays. But yeah, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I think we'll have a show next week. Let me check and see. I don't be in the streets doing New Year's. So I won't be doing anything like that. Oh yeah. Isn't it crazy? Yeah. We'll be having a show um on the 31st, maybe. If you guys tell me you want me to have a show, then I'll have a show on the 31st. For us people who don't go out and party, we can come here, we can have a party, we can have a drink, we can have our own little moments, okay? But let me know. But I won't show up if y'all not showing up, even though I don't have nothing to do, so I probably will still show up. Okay, I probably still will show up. Um, Maybe we can make that an early show or a whatever show. But y'all, in a couple days, well, before I get out of here, we are going into 2026. Do you guys have any plans for 2026? I won't say any New Year's resolutions, but what I will say is, do you guys have any plans and goals for 2026? And I would tell you this: the best way to make sure that you hit your goals is what we say: live in the moment, live in the day, make a goal for that day. Whether it's I'm going to clean the kitchen, clean my bedroom, and wash clothes. Call the credit people, see what my credit looking like. And boom, follow up on my bills, whatever it is you need to do. Set it and make a day. Set it, make a day for it, and do it. You said yes. Oh, what are your plans for 2026? I've already begun to start planning some things for my 2026 of how I want 2026 to go. But we will officially be rolling out the website pretty soon. And I want you guys to know that the website is not just, I think I told you, it's not just for entrepreneurs and everything. It's for everybody. We're the gift that keeps on giving. So I'm super excited about that. And get y'all some of these because these are delicious. I was like, these are the different things that I'm going to be bringing to the functions. I'm going to be bringing these to the function, okay? But tell me what you guys plans before I go. Nope, just getting a new hip. Oh, well, you know what? I wish you a speedy recovery. Father God, we're going to ask that the doctors and the nurses and your blood pressure and your health and your fears and anxieties, okay, are all cast to the sides. And that when you go and you have your surgery, that you have a speedy recovery, that the doctors know what they're doing, that you're not in there long, okay, and that you are able to be better, come out and be able to do the hula hoop in Jesus' name, okay? Amen to that. Well, I'm glad that you're going to get you a new hoop. I mean, look at me, it's the drink, a new hip. This is 9% tequila. It's pretty good. But I'm so glad that you'll have a new hip. And then you're going to come out singing, I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. Oh my gosh, Andre, when you get a new hip, you definitely have to turn that movie on or find that audio somewhere and send it to me. Post it on your pages doing, I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. People can be like, what is he talking about? Don't worry about it. You can be like, it's a Candy Coated thing. It's a CCS thing. Don't judge us. Get down with us. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. Anything else before we go? Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This was so dope. This was so dope. This was so dope. And I said, you know what? I'm going to finish up what I need to do on my website so we can go ahead and we can just launch this bad boy because it's time. It's time to launch it and stop playing around. Kenny K. In the building. Well, yeah. All right, you guys. Enjoy your holiday. Have a great day. Don't argue tomorrow. Don't let anybody, when the holidays comes, I used to say, what my cousin used to say, we used to always say together, happy trigger day. Because people will always trigger you. You're welcome. Thank you for coming on. Yes, no, thank you. So like I told you guys, let me know if we're going to do a show next week. Wait a minute, let me see right now before I go. Are we going to do a show next week or what? Type it down in the comments. Type it in the chat. So I'll know. We don't need a whole lot to have a good time. You understand? We don't need a whole lot to have a good time. Because this will determine, okay? Because I'll be like, ain't no show. I'm trying to give you guys some time to type. But this was good. Pay attention to what's going on around y'all. Okay, I see that one. Andre say, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Andre, the man with the plan. Andre be here. I appreciate you, Andre. Holidays, birthdays, you be in the building. You rock with me the long way. Thank you. I appreciate you. More than anything. Yes, because even if it's just you, we'll be here. We'll be here. Might be a little tardy to the party, but we'll be here. Okay, keep it a bean. She said, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to go out. I ask you when we get a little closer to the day. Clock it. Absolutely. Because I ain't going nowhere. I say, listen, when you go outside, you got to spend money. And I don't want to keep spending no money, especially not my own. But yeah, I may still come because I say that all the time. I was like, dang, I need to get a store. I wish I had a store because I was like, yo, everybody doesn't always do anything. Everybody doesn't always celebrate stuff, not for just religious reasons, but just because it's like, no, we're not participating. I was like, yo, if I had a store, a hair store, any kind of store or whatever, that thing will be open all year because there are some people who need it. May need last minute things. Everybody don't celebrate stuff and things like that. So I was like, yeah. If I have something to me, the way me and Andre baby hanging it out, baby, we must run and be goddamn going, can't go to secrets every day, 7 days a week. You feel me? So I totally appreciate that. I totally appreciate that. Thank you guys. I hope you guys have a great holiday and a Merry Christmas. Share the show. As you guys can hear, Draco's back knocking at the door. Ugh. But no, have a great day, you guys. It was fun. I appreciate you guys. And we will be here next week.